Anxiety. This is a universal experience. Everyone has felt that tightening in the chest, the racing of the mind as thoughts spiral out of control. But what if I told you that some of history's greatest minds, philosophers from ancient Greece to modern thinkers, also grappled with this very issue? Anxiety isn't just a modern problem. It has been part of the human experience for thousands of years. In this video, we're going to dive deep into how these philosophers understood anxiety and how their insights can help us deal with it today. Make sure to stick around, because what you learn in the next few minutes might just change how you see and manage anxiety in your own life. Seneca and Stoicism. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, offered a path to managing anxiety that remains highly relevant today. Stoicism teaches us that peace comes from accepting what we cannot control and focusing only on our actions and attitudes. Seneca argued that much of our anxiety is self-inflicted, caused by imagining worst-case scenarios that may never happen. His famous quote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality," highlights how often we allow our minds to spiral into worry. By practicing acceptance and focusing on the present, Seneca believed we could significantly reduce anxiety and live more contentedly. Aristotle and balance. Aristotle, the great Greek philosopher, approached anxiety with his concept of the golden mean, a principle of balance and moderation. Believed that anxiety, like all emotions, had a natural place in life, but should be kept in check by cultivating virtues like temperance and courage. For Aristotle, anxiety could be harmful if left unchecked, but it could also serve as a useful warning system that helps us avoid danger. The key, he argued, was finding a balance, being aware of our fears without allowing them to control us, and acting with measured caution rather than impulsive avoidance or reckless disregard. Epicurus and simple pleasures. Epicurus, the ancient Greek philosopher, took a different approach to understanding anxiety. Argued that much of our anxiety stems from the pursuit of unnecessary desires, wealth, fame, and luxury, that ultimately do not bring true happiness. Epicurus believed that by focusing on simple natural pleasures and by minimizing our desires, we could significantly reduce the anxiety that comes from constantly chasing external validation. For him, happiness was not found in extravagant living, but in the simple joys of friendship, good food, and a peaceful mind, free from the constant craving for more. Descartes and doubt. René Descartes, the father of modern philosophy, saw anxiety as deeply connected to doubt and uncertainty. He argued that anxiety often arises when we question the nature of reality and our place within it. Descartes was obsessed with the idea of certainty and believed that by doubting everything, we could eventually arrive at absolute truths. However, this constant questioning also leads to anxiety, as it forces us to confront the possibility that many of our beliefs are built on shaky foundations. To Descartes, understanding and managing anxiety required a rigorous process of self-examination and rational thought to uncover what is truly certain in our lives. Schopenhauer and pessimism. Arthur Schopenhauer, a notoriously pessimistic philosopher, had a more bleak view of anxiety. He believed that life itself was filled with suffering and dissatisfaction, driven by our endless desires. According to Schopenhauer, we are constantly striving for things we don't have, and this insatiable desire leads to a deep and chronic sense of anxiety. No matter how much we achieve or acquire, we are always left wanting more, which fuels our inner turmoil. For him, anxiety wasn't something that could be easily overcome. It was an intrinsic part of the human condition that we must simply endure. Kierkegaard and existential angst. Kierkegaard, a Danish philosopher, introduced the idea that anxiety is closely tied to human freedom. He referred to anxiety as the dizziness of freedom, the feeling that comes when we realize the vast number of choices and possibilities life presents us. While freedom offers us the potential to shape our own lives, it also brings the terrifying responsibility of making the right choices. This existential anxiety, according to Kierkegaard, is an inevitable part of living authentically, and rather than trying to escape it, we should embrace it as part of the human condition. It is through facing this anxiety that we find meaning and purpose in our lives. Nietzsche and overcoming anxiety. Friedrich Nietzsche believed that anxiety, rather than being something to avoid, could be a powerful force for personal growth. He argued that confronting our deepest fears and overcoming them made us stronger. Nietzsche's philosophy centered on the idea that struggle and suffering were essential for becoming a higher version of oneself. His famous quote, "What does not kill me makes me stronger," reflects his belief that anxiety and hardship are necessary steps on the path to self-mastery. By facing anxiety head-on, Nietzsche believed that we could transform it into a tool for building resilience and fortitude. Freud and the unconscious. Sigmund Freud, the founder of psychoanalysis, took a psychological approach to understanding anxiety. He believed that anxiety often arises from unresolved conflicts buried deep in our unconscious mind. These conflicts, which may be rooted in repressed fears, desires, or memories, manifest as anxiety when they are not fully processed or understood. Freud argued that by bringing these unconscious issues to the surface and confronting them directly, we could begin to reduce our anxiety. Through therapy and self-reflection, Freud believed that individuals could gain greater insight into the hidden forces that shape their emotions. Applying these lessons today. In examining the ideas of these great philosophers, we find that anxiety is not an isolated experience, but a shared part of the human journey. From Seneca's focus on acceptance to Nietzsche's embrace of struggle, these thinkers offer profound insights into how we can approach anxiety in our own lives. Whether by practicing mindfulness, simplifying our desires, or confronting our fears, we have a wealth of philosophical wisdom to draw from as we navigate anxiety in today's world. Ultimately, by integrating these lessons into our daily lives, we can begin to transform anxiety from something that paralyzes us into a force that motivates growth and understanding. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more philosophy content to improve your life.